try to follow that up. I don't have as many good jokes as Nick does, obviously. Honored to be able to speak in front of everybody today and to know Josh and his family. I came to North Tryon Division in 2019 and could tell immediately it was a pretty tight-knit group of men and women. At that time, Josh Eyer was on deployment serving his country and wasn't there to defend himself for what I'm about to tell you. One special thing about working in a busy division, there's an abundance of storytelling and trash talking that usually goes on. I've always been told from the time I was a rookie officer, someone doesn't make fun of you if they don't like you, and that proved true in 2019. The second shift roll call began in typical fashion. It was very lighthearted, and there was some roasting going on. The story of Mr. Beckett and Josh Eyer came about. If you didn't know Josh, he was the type of officer that would blow out his knee for an open container violation as the suspect tried to run away from him. True story that happened. In similar fashion, in 2018, Mr. Beckett stole a sandwich and a drink from QT, probably valued at $5. As soon as Mr. Beckett saw Josh arriving on scene and fear of his general stature and demeanor, he took off running. During that foot pursuit, as Josh caught up to him, Mr. Beckett turned around and punched Josh square in the forehead. As we like to use the phrase in D3, Eyer got Eyered. Josh, of course, as a young officer then, got on the radio and told responding officers and units that were passing him as they were driving by. Fortunate for me, Josh returned back from deployment, and that was my first interaction. I didn't know the guy, but I had that story to go off of. Once Josh sat beside me in the roll call room, my first statement when we met was, "So, you're the guy that got punched in the face for a PB&J." His face in typical Josh Eyer red rage mode, as we call it, or if you've directed traffic with him, you've seen it. Just a simple reply of, "Yep, that's me." That was the type of officer Josh was. Full speed ahead, no matter the cost. This couldn't have been more evident by his actions shown on Monday. We weren't even scheduled to work, but Josh had a family commitment this week, so we both decided to go in and get a couple hours so he could be there. Josh, like so many others, heard the call on the radio and immediately ran towards the sound of chaos and gunfire, because that's who Josh was. Yes, Josh wore two uniforms, and the words honor, duty, and commitment were woven into his very fabric and being. But Josh was much more than just an officer and a soldier. He was a man of faith, a loving husband, a proud father, a son, and a brother. He often would brag about you, Ashley, how you were his foundation and strength no matter what. No matter the deployments, no matter the riots, the protests, a hard day at work, he always came home and knew where his strength lied, and you were it. The thing I respected most about Josh was the father he had become. Josh embodied every good, decent quality a father needs today in this world. He adored his son, Andrew, and spending quality time with him is what brought him the most joy. I know Andrew is too young to know it right now, but his dad died a hero with a full heart. To Josh's parents, no amount of words that we could say here today, no amount of services you've been through for this week will fill the void left behind with your son leaving this world. I know that. Mr. Eyer, I watched you Monday night look down at your son and tell him over 15 times you were proud of him as he laid there with the American flag draped across of him. I can look across this room today and tell you that you're not the only one that's proud of your son. We're all fortunate to know the story of Josh Eyer and the sacrifice he made on Monday. We all owe him a debt that can never be repaid. I only hope we can live in his honor, and as Andrew gets older, tell him the stories of why his dad meant so much to us all. Rest easy, Josh. We have it from here.